Now, Virginia This Morning on CBS 6.
And good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here today for Virginia This Morning. I'm Cheryl Miller. Parents and grandparents have a lot of lessons to teach the children around them, and one of the most important lessons may be about money. Local financial expert Bryan is back with us today with some tips on how to teach youngsters about financial literacy. Hi, JB.
Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for this opportunity. I think this topic is great. Is it this time of year, going to work and getting their first job or entering the workforce
or maybe a summer job for a high school or something like that. Now, I know you have a daughter. She, I guess, must be the most financially savvy young lady on earth, right?
Yes, she is. We're claiming it. Yes, she is. And it's interesting because I thought about her this morning and I said, you know, what do I teach her? And I think I really focus on what money represents. And I really have tried to focus on her learning to spend what she receives. She of course, doesn't have a job yet, and if she will never have a job, according to me, I always try to make her think about creating ideas to make money, like vegan bodybuilding, the people coming up, that's a creative idea that they were able to generate income from. I tried to talk to my daughter about using her musical skills of creating income from. So I think as a parent, the number one thing is to learn to lead by the example that you set. My business was just an idea that I developed as a financial advisor. And I said, why don't I start my own investment advisory firm? So teaching kids to turn ideas into income, into money, and what to do with that money when you receive it. And that leads to developing a long-term mindset for them.
So it's more so than just job equals money.
That's right.
Ideas equal maybe more money.
That's right. Ideas are the key to success, as you see with Bill Gates, Ted Turner, Oprah Winfrey. All of those the big money people came from big ideas that they were able to allow them to have time to cultivate over time. And it took time and discipline. So a big part of money for young people, I think, is to teach them to be disciplined about how they use it and how they create it. And to also teach them that money is not the key to happiness, that money can add to your overall happiness that your child, that your family has, and it gives us the ability to be generous. So I really focus on teaching my daughter to be generous and to share, and especially as an only child. And I have a commitment to generosity, and I think that we as parents, again, we lead by example on how they feel about money. We teach them that.
And one of the things you mentioned was time. And when children are young, we need to teach them about time horizon and how time can really build their money.
Yes, because in the workshops a lot, the financial workshops, we always, as adults, look at the compounding effect of money and allowing the money to have time to make money on your money over time.
Right.
You can show your children that by starting as simple as a piggy bank. You know, and then the piggy bank gets them to see that over time, those pennies add up, those silvers add up, and they can fill up that jar. But at first, there wasn't that much there. So I think that the piggy bank as a beginning is definitely a good visual for young people. And then as they get older, explaining to them that your effort and your saving and your wise use of your money will create a compounding return over time. I spoke with some young people one day and they were talking about, you know, what should we do? What should we do? And I said, first, complete your education. You know, they each had not finished yet. I said, you first have to complete your education. That's your first component, making the investment of your time right now to learn a craft and to learn that skill well. And it doesn't have to be a typical education, it could be a technical skill, but get your skills together.
Right. I just got a press release yesterday that I did not know this. It said Virginia students must successfully complete a course in personal finance and economic literacy in order to earn their advanced studies or standard diploma. I didn't know that. So they are teaching. Beautiful. They are teaching finance to children in high school.
Oh, that's beautiful, because it's very relevant. I know that when you and I, when we graduated, that was not a big component, and what turned me into a financial advisor was not a class that I took in business school at University of Virginia. It was the personal finance class that I took, and I was fascinated by it because in business school, you focus on business finance and balance sheets, but in personal finance, which is in the college, which is outside of business school, you learn about these things. And in high school, they're getting a great opportunity just to learn about budgeting and delayed gratification. That is the key, delayed gratification, that you cannot spend everything immediately. And if your allowance is not enough, then wait till the next week or wait till the next week. But when you set that goal, create the discipline within your children that they'll put it off, that they'll delay trying to receive it, or they won't settle for something else. You teach them to wait and save for what they really want.
You mentioned allowance. That's another controversy in a lot of families is, do we pay the child an allowance for doing chores around the house? Do you think that's a good idea?
I don't believe in it, and that's only because my parents don't believe in it. But my parents didn't believe in giving us anything for a chore, so I don't give her anything for chores. But I do give her reward for good grades. I told her, straight A's to me are everything. So you can almost write a check. I'll give you the checkbook. You can bring me straight A's.
That's the work she's doing in exchange for.
I want some sort of effort put out, in order. But as far as taking care of yourself and your household, that is what you have to do at any point in your life. You're not going to get paid. You want to have a mansion? Well, you're going to have to create money to create this mansion. If you want to have a maid, you got to make money to pay that maid. But until then, you've got to put in that elbow grease and clean up behind yourself.
Well, as we wrap up this morning, JB, what would be the #1 lesson you think that parents or grandparents should teach a child as far as financial savvy goes?
That they should do what they love to do in order to create money with their life at every point in their life. Do what you love to do, and the money will follow. Passion creates money and joy. But don't teach them to focus on this career creates this kind of money, and that's why I want to do that. That creates frustrated people and unhappiness over the long term.
Well, I can see you've created the joy. JB, thanks so much for joining us today. Well, JB's going to be facilitating a workshop tonight called Making Your Money Work For You. It's presented by the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Again, it's tonight. It begins at 5:30 at the Petersburg Public Library on West Washington Street. And JB Bryan offers a free financial workshop every Wednesday at noon at 4860 Cox Road, Suite 200 in Glen Allen. Pre-registration is required. We'll put a link to more information on our website at WTVR.com/VTM. You're never too old to learn more about how to take care of your money and your happiness.